Today, for Haunted History, we're going to tell the story of the curse of Chickies Rock, also known as the Three Witch Sisters of Chickies Rock. So, around turn of the century, around 1900, uh, train companies and like trolley companies, it was really popular to have a daycation or a weekend vacation spot. We've talked about places like Mount Gretna for the Cornwall and Lebanon Railroad, Penryn Park for the Lebanon Railroad. These were places that people could escape to, get away from their mundane and hardworking lives, and really just sort of get to a point that they could finally afford, if you will, to sort of get away. So this place is situated near today's modern Columbia or Wrightsville. And this was known simply as the Rock. And there was a home up there where three sisters lived. And the Columbia and Donegal trolley company decided that they needed to have one of these daycation vacation spots, and they wanted to do it up on the Rock or Chickies Rock. So this would have been a grade of 6 degrees. It was reasonably long, but it was a perfect place. So they started buying up land, and everyone sold willingly because the money was really good, except for these three sisters that lived together, who basically just wanted to be left alone, but were accused of supposedly messing around with the black arts and being witches. Whether that was true or not, who knows? But they kept on denying time after time after time, saying, "No, we're not interested in your money. We don't want to lose our home. We like it up here because we're sort of by ourselves," and that's just who they were. So supposedly, what happened then is the trolley company got tired of upping their deals and them not being accepted, so they eventually went to the Pennsylvania government to get the opportunity to be able to take this land via eminent domain, and it got approved. So the sisters, once again, supposedly according to the story, made in essence a suicide pact, and they then put a curse upon the land that because of the greed and because of the dishonest way in which this trolley company went about it, that it would be followed by death and destruction. And they supposedly went and did it out of this book, the sixth and seventh book of Moses, which is magic books, and just I don't really know anything about it other than we've talked about it in the past with I forget what the guy's old man something I did a video on. It was a haunted history. It was one of those I did sort of oddly where with the flashlight and stuff like that. And he's sort of this terrifying guy. And they did these like the Pennsylvania magic type stuff. And this is supposedly where the curse came from. And then of course they killed themselves. So once the trolley company got the land, they started to build this track, and they ran into all kinds of issues, and just a lot of really bad stuff was happening. Injuries, unexplained things that just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And they eventually would wind out giving up, but not before a tragic event would happen. There would be a terribly deadly trolley accident. Once again, not really any kind of explanation for it. And 6 people were killed, and it was like over, I think it was like almost 100 people that were injured. It was really bad. And at that stage, nobody wanted anything to do with it because the rumors were all around that they had put a curse on the land, and it just sort of terrified everyone around. And what have we done? We don't want anything to do with this. I think that trolley company eventually would go bankrupt and everything. So this was just one of those things that it's in haunted history. It's sort of a terrifying tale of what possibly could have actually happened. So to this very day, it's still considered haunted. It's still considered cursed. and people just don't like to go up there. It really is sort of a terrifying tale, and whether these ladies were witches, whether there was actually some kind of black magic going on, nobody knows. And in this picture here, this is actually the last one of the last things that showed that anything went up through here. And it's just this round circle with a little bit of the trolley tracks that are still in it. It's a rather decent sized circle, whether it's a turntable or something of that nature. It's just one of the few things from when that event happened that still remain. But, whether this is one of those things that actually exists, or the story in the urban legend is certainly there and lasts to this very day. There's actually a bunch of really cool different stories from Uncharted Lancaster. Cliff did a video on this. I've been reading about it for a while and thinking about doing this, so I finally have gotten around to telling the story, but it was just really bizarre, bad circumstances, and whether it's just happenstance and it just was poor building and there are breakdowns there, or whether there's actually a curse. There are powers out there that are unexplainable in a lot of ways, and maybe this is one of them. So thanks for coming along again, and as always, history is out there. We'll see you about town.